Alright, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's Super here, and welcome to the first of 3 keep in mind, basic character tutorials for Melina, Rambo, and Rain. Of course, I gotta do Rambo first. I'm going in order in which I uploaded the characters, so it's gonna be Rambo, Rain, then Melina. And here I am on the character customization, because now that NetherRealm opened up the game to us, as far as you can use custom variations in ranked, in Kombat League, whatever. I'm gonna start off right here because I'm gonna explain what I'm using first. So snare trap and the leopard crawl is what I'm gonna be using and demonstrating for this tutorial. A lot of these moves right here are really good. For example, commando, it gives you an extension for a couple of strings, really good. It gives you a restand. Maze trap is a good keep away tool. The shoulder roll, this move is really good. It replaces, the crawl, it replaces the slide, but this move is really good, especially in combination with the claymore. So you guys play around and decide what variation and what custom moves you want to use. But now let's go into training mode and let's check out this Rambo action. Let's beat up on this guy that doesn't have blood. So leave a like on the video for these. By the way, these are unedited whenever I upload these tutorials. So here we go. Xbox Series X loading times, baby. I could actually do all that. Let's start off with some of the normals that Rambo has. This character is the king of mids. He has a mid for pretty much every single situation. So his normal attacks aren't, bad. His stand 1, unfortunately, you can't really get max punish from what you want to do. So for example, I have the snare trap, right, that you could use to extend your combo, but unfortunately it does not combo off of his normal bread and butter, like fast punish 1-2 string. When you have the commando variation, you have an extension for a little grab right there, so that always adds a little bit more damage, a little bit more mix up if you have a tiny window of like 8 to 10 frames to punish, because his other fastest button to punish is actually his 11 frame mid. Forward 1, absolutely amazing button, but it does lead to unsafe strings. You might get away with staggering this right here because your opponent might be scared that you're gonna actually finish your combo, but if they're not and they're like, awake and they're poking, this string is -10, so you're gonna have to use it at your own risk. But we do have this crawl right here, which I'm gonna talk about, where you could actually go into different things. So the crawl and the moves that you have are gonna either make your string safe, or you might get different options. So that right there, forward 1, 2, 2 is your basic bread and butter launcher. You guys have seen me do this combo online. You don't need to do the down 1. You don't need to do the down 1. You could just do this right here, and it's still pretty much the same damage. I just like the style of the down 1. Adding that down 1 just gives it a little bit more style for me. So that's why I do that, and I still can't even do it consistently. So it's not something that I should really be trying online right now until I actually get some more practice. But that's going to be your bread and butter combo, and any sort of launcher from this, you could go into this, into your fatal blow. It's going to do some good damage. Now let's talk about his, back 1. Here we go. His back 1, another mid. This one is like the opposite. This one's like a mid to up close. This one's a little bit further back, but it leads into some 50-50s with 2 overheads. And are these overheads safe? I completely forgot. So this one -7, you're really not going to get punished with something other than a down 1. And the first part, if you just do this, you're definitely going to get punished. -9 is punishable. -7, the worst that could happen is you get poked. So if you're not confident, or if you could hit confirm, because you could actually hit confirm this pretty easily, you either see it hit. If it hits, you go into your snare trap. If it doesn't and your opponent blocks it, you go into the overhead. But because the snare trap is a low, you actually get this mix-up right here with this combo string, because it has 2 overheads. So you could go for just back 1 snare trap, it all combos. You could go for back 1, 2 snare trap, that combos as well. Or you could just go with your full string. So you have that little 50-50 option, but keep in mind, the snare trap is unsafe. You could also do that little mix up with his slide, which I don't have right here because I have his crawl right now, but that's always an option. Anything that you can mix up with the snare trap, you can mix up with his slide. So moving on here, forward 2. This move looks like an overhead. I thought it would be an overhead. You could interrupt this move with a low poke. You could obviously flawless block it, but you have to be careful. Use this at your own risk, because obviously you could interrupt it with a poke and maybe even like a stand 1, stuff like that if it's fast enough. There's a big enough gap there where you could interrupt it. But if you don't, then you could go into this move right here. The ender is only like -3, or you could go into another little mix-up with the overhead. Snare trap, same thing, but one bad thing about this one is, as you guys see, it does not combo. This does not combo. It's a little reset. So if you want to take the chance on potentially resetting your opponent and having them block it because it's not a combo, you could try to go for the mix-up between finishing the combo string or trying to reset them with this, which is something that I would definitely go for. But I'm a scrub, so don't be like me. Let's see, what other mids do we have? What's a stand 2? Yeah, I don't even use this string, so not important. Down 2. What's a stand 3? Don't use that, of course. I'm gonna talk about that. All right, so just real quick before we talk about his other amazing mid, this move right here is actually not that bad, man. It's pretty good. It's a high, but it's super fast. It has a crazy amount of range, and of course it combos into any of this. So if you want to try to like whiff punish your opponent and you don't want to use like maybe this move right here, definitely go with this. That's going to be a really good whiff punishing tool. So for example, if you know, if you see him do that, that's definitely not, well, if you see him do that, that's when you go for it. You know, you see them whip the combo string. But the cool thing about this move is that it actually allows you to follow up in the middle of a combo. So if you get like a snare trap, for example, you go for this, and it allows you to get a little bit extra damage than, you know, doing like your jump 3, which I was doing at the start. Just a tiny bit, but you know, maybe at the end, that can make the difference between winning a match and losing it. So, you know, you just do this and you have plenty of time to confirm. The same thing happens in the corner. Same thing happens in the corner. You could actually get a down 1 after that. You know, you get a little bit extra damage whenever you incorporate, you know, a stand 1, stuff like that in a move. That's why I also like doing this, you know, a little bit extra damage. You get like maybe 10 points of damage, 40 points of damage, something like that. Maybe not even adding up to 1%. But this move right here, all right, this move, his back 3, super good combo string, because it is your combo string that doesn't scale your damage as much as, you know, something like this, for example. Let's see how much this does. So that does 261, but if you start your combo with this, which is a really good mid, you're gonna get 30%, right? Yeah, 30% damage. So that combo string really reminds me of Jax's combo string. It's a 12-frame mid that leads into like a safe option. Like -7, the worst thing that can happen, like I said, is you're gonna get poked. So do not worry about that. Throw this move out there. It's super good. Easy, really easy to hit confirm into your launcher. So now that we got those combos out the way, those are pretty much the only combos that I use. The other ones, you could use them if you want, but I don't use them. It's always good to have a projectile, so yeah, you know, a basic projectile doesn't even combo off of anything. And the other move that I have is, what's the other basic move that I have? I think that's it as far as a basic move. Oh no, of course, this one. So this move right here is usually like the best combo ender that you could have. Even if you choose the command grab, I'm pretty sure that ending the combo with this move right here is the most damage that you could get with Rambo. So, you know, it's always nice having that. And plus, it's a really good zoning tool. It goes full screen pretty much. You know, it has 2 distances, the mid one and the far one. And it has a giant radius. Kind of hard to jump over sometimes. It does like 7%. Pretty good. So now let's talk about my 2 abilities that I've picked for this class. Snare Trap. Reason for picking it, obviously, you get a little bit more combo potential with Lord Rambo here. Boom, 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 boom. You get a little bit more combo potential. You get a little bit of a mix-up. Oh, I completely forgot about his back two. His back two is another really good mid, but normally I just use this to finish combos. So, you know, that's a good. That's his best combo ender, using back two, 2-3. But for the most part, like, I would prefer using like this, for example, than this. So I guess that's why I forgot about it. I'm just so used to ending the combos with it. But, you know, see what you like. So snare and trap, pretty self-explanatory, right? Unfortunately, it doesn't combo from this. I don't know if I mentioned that. I think I did, but, you know, you're going to be using this. This actually does combo. This right here with the mix-ups, all this combos. So no problem with that. The only bad thing that I wish you could combo from it was as fast as like punish. Unfortunately, you cannot do that, and this is not cancelable, and you cannot like combo your opponent if they're in the air already. It's only like it's only if their feet are actually on the ground. All right, so now let's talk about this crawl, right? So we all thought this was gonna be some sort of like gimmick and it wasn't gonna be that good, but man, this thing is amazing because of this little command grab that you have. This thing is really good. It's pretty fast, and there's a lot of situations where you're going to be able to, you know, land this command grab on block. And it allows you to, you know, mix your opponent up a little bit with... it allows you to mix your opponent up in certain situations. It does... A lot of Rambo's moves don't really have a lot of block stun. So all these tick throws you could actually mix your opponent up with. And some of them, you cannot... It's very hard for him to poke out of it. So of course, all these, right? You could jump all of these. Just like any command grab, you could jump every single one of these. But your opponent is more likely to try to poke than to try to, you know, maybe jump. Because if you then maybe commit to something like this, or you commit to the full string, they're going to get hit by it. But the fact that you are able to sort of tick throw your opponent off of pretty much anything is really good. And if you think your opponent is going to try to poke, because of course they can interrupt you when you're trying to do the crawl, you could always go for the slash. Or if you want to be big brain, you could always go for the parry. And the good thing about the parry is that it parries lows, mids, highs, and I think even grabs. So the crawl is actually a really, really good option for Rambo. So that's why I have this in like the base class. I kind of like wanted to add it in here because I feel like this might be the best move that he has. It's really good. Well, you know what? Maybe the Claymore might be the best move that he has because you get some crazy shit in the corner. But this move right here allows you to have a little bit more mix-up and more like fun with Rambo. You know, you can have a little bit more fun with your offense instead of being a little bit, you know, sort of either really setup based or very basic with this snare trap. So this allows you to play both ways, in my opinion. You can mix your opponent up with this, you know, try to be random. Or you could try to mix your opponent up with the grab. If they try to poke, bam, bam. They try to, you know, counter it. You go with the parry. So I think this class setup right here is like the best of both worlds. And I think that's it with Rambo, guys. So just a couple combos here. Rambo's pretty basic as far as combos go. He's no Rain, that's for sure. But any sort of combo string mid-screen into the snare is going to lead to a forward 3 and then back to 2-1 into that. That's pretty much going to be your basic bread and butter combo when it comes to any of this. So if you get this grab right here, you know, you could go for this. You don't need the down 1, like I said. So forget the down 1 if you struggle getting it sometimes, like even I do. You could just go for the easy bread and butter stuff. That's 33%, 34%. If you get a down 2, you know, go for the basic stuff. 33%. I think you could even get... No, I think you can get a forward 3 after this, right? No, I think there's too much gravity used up, but if you get this into this right here, check out this damage. This is going to be a crazy amount of damage. This is probably going to be 50, right? I think it's like 52. Wow, look at the damage. If your opponent has already used their defensive meter and you get a down 2 crushing blow, all you got to do is just do the really easy back 2-2-1 into fatal blow and bam. Almost 55%. That's crazy. So let's move on to the corner here. Pretty much the same thing applies. I think right here though you could get that. Let's see. So I think in this situation, I actually have not practiced these combos. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you could get that. A little bit extra damage with the jump 3. Maybe doing a down 1. It looks like you could definitely do it. Missing it by a tiny bit. Maybe you can do it. Maybe it's just, or maybe I just don't have enough practice with it. It definitely looks like you can do it. He like escapes. Just barely doesn't get hit. Looks like you can do it. But anyways, even if you can't do that specific combo, I believe you could go for this. No, you cannot do that one. Whoops. Like I said, the corner combos actually, I just found out that you could get forward 3 in the middle of a combo to extend it. So this is kind of like my first time going into training mode. But even if you can't get any of that, you could always go for stand 1. You go for something like that. I'm sure this works. I just don't have the timing for it. It just looks... I want to get this fucking combo. Maybe it doesn't. It just looks like it does. I don't know. Anyways. I think that about does it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to stay here in training mode with Rambo and see if I can get that combo or some other combos. But pretty much those are like the basic bread and butter combos you're going to get with Rambo. You know, if you have the roll, of course you do the roll. And then you do the crushing blow, you do the jump in, you know, you go in for this. Pretty much anything that involves any sort of combos with Rambo is going to be pretty basic. He doesn't have too crazy complex combos. Where his, like, you know, complexity, I guess, comes from is some of the setups that you could get your opponent in with the Claymore, stuff like that. So that is going to be the end of today's video, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you all enjoyed it. I was going to try to, you know, let me do this. How about that? I just dropped both combos. Okay, I need to end it with actually hitting a freaking combo. Please. Please. Okay, there we go. That's what happens when you do things live. No second takes. Anyway, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.